here tonight because I think we have in these two gentlemen enough to tell you about what we are faced with today, and also to outline. Our candidate will outline our plans for the future. And he's young, he's competent, he's hardworking, he's very capable of doing so. But I want you to come even for a few minutes just to look you in the eyes here at Wales and say to you, we have felt your pain over the last several years. We have seen the deterioration in your lives and in your community. We have witnessed many families, women, men, who come to our offices talking about the hardships of life that they have had to face over the years because of actions that should not have taken place, because of the vindictive government that now runs our country. And I want to promise you, I want to look you in your eyes and promise you that we are going to fix it after March 2nd. I'm here only for that purpose, to say that whatever we promised here in our manifesto and on this platform, it will be done. Comrades, I'm going to spend a short time here tonight because I have to go somewhere else. I'm busy. But I want, as we gather here tonight, the government is preparing fireworks by the armed forces of our country to celebrate first oil in Guyana. A few days ago, invitations printed on glass were sent out. They're preparing champagne and everything at the Marriott Hotel, a hotel that was built by the PPP that they said they were turning into a hospital, one of the most profitable hotels in the Western Hemisphere. And they're preparing to do fireworks tonight. We have not received a cent as yet from the flowing of the oil, but they're spent to have fireworks tonight. We have to repay some $6 billion to ExxonMobil and the others from pre-contract costs and the cost to produce the oil before we start receiving money at a substantial level, yet they're celebrating. They have signed a contract that does not look out for Guyanese interests. In fact, every time the oil companies find a new barrel of oil offshore, we rue that day because the fraction that comes to Guyanese, the amount that comes to Guyanese is so tiny because of the corrupt, incompetent negotiation of APNI. And so it tells you something about this government. They're very prone to ceremonies. They can have fireworks and go to cocktail parties and build parks and put up arches and that sort of thing. But where it matters to deal with people and their lives, they're totally lacking. So at every meeting they've gone across this country since they launched their campaign, their focus has been on the PPP, spreading the lies of the past and criticizing the PPP, who they will put in garbage bag. They have not said a word about their track record. The 5 years in government, normally when you campaign for re-election, you talk about your achievements. But if you have none, what are you going to talk about? And we know what their achievements are. 30,000 jobs lost, healthcare deteriorating, not a single new house lot in production. The mining sector is in difficulties. Nearly 15 to 20,000 small miners had to get out of mining because of the higher taxes. The sugar industry in trouble. Rice is in trouble. Retail trade is in trouble. We're paying 88 billion more in taxes. We now are the most corrupt country in the Caribbean. Look at the latest IDB report. That's their track record. Escalating crime, cost of living going up. They are ashamed to talk about their tenure in the past 5 years. And what are they going to promise in the future? Nothing, because they made all the promises in 2014 and 2015, and they never fulfilled a single one of them. Totally untrustworthy. They have no achievement, and they have no plans for the future. Absolutely none. And so that is why they're focusing on who they would lock up, etc. They'd lock up me. They said that in 2015, that was their campaign. I'm standing here free tonight, and many of them will go to jail, I promise you this. Not because we're vindictive, because of the large-scale theft of people's resources, large-scale theft that we have evidence for. Right here at Wales, they dismantled the factory, and until now we don't know which one of their friends got the contract to sell the scrap metal, but it's over $1 billion that they raised from the scrap metal. They gave away a ton of land here, all the lands at the back here. We don't know to whom. We heard from their cronies, some from Trinidad and Tobago, large pieces of land given away. All of the houses here at Wales, the assets of the Wales factory. Well, we will find out. We'll take back some of those lands so that you can get some of them too. So, this is what is happening now. I don't need to tell you why you need to come out and vote. Many of you know this better than me. You can make a stronger case than I can make here tonight on this platform. You live it. You see it. You've seen the decline in your community. You've seen total neglect. Some of it because of who you voted for. But trust me, they're going to try. They only have one thing that they're trying to push now: racism. And that's their only tool to fall back on. So Herman went to Buxton and he said Afro-Guyanese are his people. But he didn't know that all the years, the 4.5 years, because he was hobnobbing in the pocket of some rich Indian businessmen, a few of them who have been benefiting. 10 of them have got over $40 billion worth of contracts from this government because they can pay them off. So he didn't care about the young kids in Buxton who didn't have a job too, who lost jobs. This government has cared about no one. That is the issue, and that is why it's a futile attempt to stir up racism, because right here at Wales, this was a mixed group of people working at the factory here. They too lost jobs, Afro-Guyanese. The whole country is in decline. The entire country is in decline. And so we must fight their racism too, because the reason why the PPP stayed in office for 23 years, because we managed for all of Guyana. We will resume office and continue to manage for all of Guyana. And the reason they're not going to last the 5 years is because of the political racial and discrimination and elitist behavior of this government. That is why they will not last. In a multi-ethnic country like ours, a government has to work for all of its people. And so on our platform, we can talk about bringing people together. We can lay out our plans for the future. We can talk about our track record. We can give hope to people because that's the nature of the People's Progressive Party. That is why people are coming to us from across the country. And comrades, they're in disarray. Their camp is in disarray. Right now, they're fighting as to who will become opposition leader in the future, Balder Lawrence or Harman. So they have two camps in the PNC, and every day they're talking about whose meetings get more people. The 200 and the 100 that they're getting, they're counting now. They're fighting now for who will take over because Granger will not be there, and Granger most likely will not become opposition leader. So that is what they're fighting for now in their circles. They've seen the writing on the wall. Many of their leaders are calling people in our camp and saying, we know you all gonna win, but you gotta do something about this country. We want, there'll be violence. They're threatening violence now. But they've always threatened that. What's new with PNC? They've always threatened violence. So we must not be intimidated by threats. We must not be intimidated by bullyism. We fought against bigger odds. We fought to bring democracy in this country, and many people were killed in that process. Many were jailed in that process on the Cherry Dragon. But we did not give up. Our resolve was not weakened when they pulled down a few flags or anything like that, or tried to disrupt a meeting. We are stern, we're strong, we have gone through a lot of these things before. But that does not change what we're aiming for, and we're aiming for a victory on March 2nd. So I want all of you to ensure that you don't lose heart every time they try to peddle this thing, oh, the Americans are on their side. Well, the Americans were the ones who said at the end of September that this government is an illegal government. They peddle another set of lies that, oh, they can steal elections. Well, with them, you have to watch everything, and we're watching every single thing. And you have to be vigilant in your communities and on the ground and on polling day. And that is why the margin of victory has to be enormous. There must be no doubt about this victory. It can't be the 50,000 votes that we beat them by in the last local government election. It's got to be even bigger than the 50,000 votes. And that's why we need all of you to become campaigners, not listeners, because you know what we're going to say here. We've been saying it. You know why you need to come out and vote. But not just to become passive listeners and come out to the meeting on Facebook, on social media, at the meetings, helping to mobilize people. Every single one of you have to become active in the next less than 50 days. How many days remaining? 47, I heard. 47 days more away from a PPP's victory. That is what we're aiming for. And so, that's what I came here to ask of you tonight. Not to make a long speech. You're going to hear a lot from Mayor Finale about our plans for the future. I just want to tell you, the party is strong, we're resolved, we're looking at every single thing. Our messages are very important. Listen to them carefully about messages of restoring hope, bringing back jobs to people. Trust me, if they dismantle the factory here, but we have to every single sugar worker who lost. If we can't open the one here immediately, we can open the ones in Berbice, because at least those factories are available. But every single sugar worker here who lost a job, we will sit down with you, sit down and ensure that you get help until you find a job or you get some assistance. All of the farmers who are supplying cane to Wales, we have to find alternatives and we will support them too. The ones from Canal and other places, because they used to produce and they used to employ people. We have to find ways of assisting them so that they can get back into production. All of this valuable land we have here must go to the benefit of you. The land must be utilized to generate jobs and wealth for you, not a few of their rich cronies, and we'll ensure that that happens, working with you in this community. So comrades, we're very clear and resolved about that. Resolved about it. Nothing can stop us from doing that because we have a duty to ensure that people who have been treated so badly across this country by a vindictive government, that we bring redress to them. And a fraction of the money that you can give to these communities, they ask, where are you going to get all of this money from? Well, we're going to cut out a lot of the perks from the ministers because they enjoy a lot of perks. Just today, I met with some people from the TSU, the specialized unit in our police force that deals with serious crimes. And you know what they're using the TSU now for? To guard ministers. Under the PPP, we had a small number of ministers, and the special constabulary used to guard them. Now the most elite, the elite troops in the police force have to guard ministers. They tell me they have to stand on the roadside. Sometimes they want water, to drink some water, and the ministers would say, go and drink at the pipe. And stuff like that. These are elite policemen who should be fighting crime. They're using them to guard these totally useless ministers. Who wants to kill these useless people? Let me see your hand. Oh. And Granger, so it's a sad thing, comrades. Imagine they're so bereft of ideas. He would come back with a slogan like a good life for all. It's such a shameful thing. Having destroyed the good life for so many people, he still comes back. If you drive around the place, you'll see his face, and that's the sign next to his face, a good life for all. Shameful, they even can't think of a better slogan. I couldn't think about a better slogan for them to come up with. And then decency and honesty. As I said before, everybody hustling. Patterson, I don't want to say anything about him not seeing right, but he even twisted the bridge to land on Stanley Ming land. He curved the bridge like this. But the whole bridge, they hustle about the study alone cost 150 something million. It was illegally done for a bridge that opens again. And then they took about 300 million from the asphalt plant fund. That is Patterson and the others. So the money is missing there. And trust me, somebody will have to account for it. And then the bridge, as I said before, ended up on Patterson, the Stanley Ming's land. Now, we made it clear. We're not building no bridge that open again. A permanent fixed bridge that we have started. So they even get the money yet to build the bridge. Right? And they're hustling for the study for the bridge. And because, you know his name, he's called the Sticky Finger Man. Anywhere he walks, things sticks to his finger. Sticky Finger Patterson. But it's not only him, it's a bunch of the others. Waste, absolute waste of time. Absolute waste. And they talk about honesty and decency. You can't respect the Constitution. You can't respect ruling of the court. And you're going to come to us and talk about honesty and decency? So comrades, you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do. From now on, I want to see all of you at Shortville too. That's where we'll talk a bit more again. All of you, every single one of you must come to Shortville too. We need to send a statement like the Albion thing. When they saw the Albion crowd, a couple of them got flu. I saw the Christopher Jones put immediately, I have a flu. The Albion flu is called. Well, you gotta give them the Shortville flu. You want them to get this Shortville flu. That would be the knockout one, because that's coming in February. So please, comrades, make sure that you help. You check when the official list of electors come out, you check your name again. Make sure that everybody check their name on again, they're in the right place, they know where they have to vote. Assist, come out. I'm just here to bring that short message, and trust me, we from day one will get back to work so that we can put you and your families back to a place where you can be comfortable. Thank you very much, comrades.